It is hot today. Well, really, it's just kind of muggy. But anyways, what's up, guys? You're back with Eric. We're at the shop today. Really, the car is done. I just got to change some O2 sensors. I've been slacking. We went to Vegas, so the car was kind of on a little pause for a minute. So got back from Vegas, got the new O2 sensors. Finally got my, I thought I say sway bar end links, but that's wrong. It's the bump steer kit for my rack and pinion on the front. So we're going to be trying to get all that installed today too. It's currently 9:07 p.m. Mel's at work. She's doing it overnight, 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. So she'll get out while I'm sleeping, technically, in the morning. She'll probably wake me up though. But anyways, let's get underneath the car and get to work today. In true fashion, can't do working on cars without having some kind of cold one. So if you're watching, crack one open. If you got some homies, pull a little bit out, you know. I was about to say I'm not going to do it on my Ford, but that's the whole point of pulling out for the homies. So just a little bit for you, Craig. But anyways, figured to give you guys a little rundown of how long I've had the car for, what I've done, the different stages I've put the car through and everything like that. So I got the car originally back in 2018 from a guy down in Maryland. Drove about 5 hours in the pouring rain with an open trailer behind me to go check out the car. So he has it in his garage, and so he's got the car in his garage, and it's just sitting there, nice and pretty. The paint was redone. Already had the Terminator motor and transmission, but still have the 10 spline input shaft in the transmission, so that did not last very long. So basically, I think it was 11 days of owning the car before I broke a half shaft, and then another 11 days after that I broke the other half shaft after I got it replaced with another stock one. So I broke 2 sets of stock half shafts and decided to screw that and spend the money. I went over to, I forget what website it was out of back then, but I got the, what are they? Oh yeah, they're the G-Force, not the Renegades, the new ones. They had a different name back then when I bought them. All I know is they're the better quality version ones. So I got those in, haven't broken half shaft yet. Drive shaft, still the stock 03 drive shaft from 03. Obviously I had to do a little bit of changes when I did the transmission. So a couple months after I broke the half shafts, I actually snapped the input shaft in the transmission, which unfortunately scored some of the gears. 02 sensors, that'll work. So I was able to ride my Harley today. Took out the Harley and went over to the Ford dealership in Huntington, picked up a pair of new O2 sensors. So let's get these opened up. Get them installed. So in case you don't know, come on, there we go. In case you don't know, when you get a new O2 sensor, they got these caps on the ends. You don't want to touch that with your fingers, which I just might have, but gotta love it. Barely did. So we'll get one of these in. Yes. good. If you guys can hear the music, I do not own this music at all, so please don't remove my audio. Just can't work without it. Put the bag up here, don't litter. Take it out again. Alright, so once you get them seated all the way, take your trusty O2 wrench, put it on there. Nothing crazy. Getting tight. Nothing crazy. Two brand new O2 sensors. Sign up any lines that you got. So when my input shaft in the transmission, it snapped, scored some gears, I replaced it with a 26 spline input shaft, changed out my clutch, and just kind of left it like that for another 3 years, I would say. So after repairing the transmission, I just kind of let the car rock for a little while, and then eventually I had my new supercharger. So I got a Kenny Bell 2.8, which was on the car when you guys when I first appeared on this channel. So the Kenny Bell 2.8, put it on, it was like a custom fabricated intake on the back of the Kenny Bell, trying to be like a Mammoth setup, if any of you know what a Kenny Bell Mammoth is. But that thing had so many vacuum leaks that I was chasing leaks for probably about 9 months before I finally said, screw this thing, took it off, replaced it with the stock inlet that comes from Kenny Bell, and set the car back together right in time for Mustang Week. I got the car done, finished tuned and everything 9 days before I had to leave for Mustang Week. As it was my first year going, obviously I did not want to go without my car. So that was a big no-no. Thankfully I got it done. Nicky Notch was the man back then. He got me all tuned up, went great. Made a nice 675 horsepower at the tire with 616 torque, and I let the car rock like that until I blew up the transmission a second time, and the rear end. Fixed the rear end, 373 gears this time rather than 355s, and then I actually pulled the transmission and drove it all the way up to Rockland County in New York. All I remember is the old timers saying, oh, if you're going to build your T56, you got to go to Rockland Counny, RSG, RSG, RSG. So I went to RSG and I talked to them, and they told me about a Tranzilla package that they do for their cars. Let's see. I got the block on the transmission. Give me 1 second, I got to move the panel. So with their Tranzilla kit, and just proof that I got it, let's go with, there we go, Tranzilla, I'm terrible at aiming, there we go. So that is proof that I had them rebuild the transmission, God forbid I ever need to have something done again. So basically what that is, they pull out all the internals of the transmission, and they replace it with gears that are 30% larger, stronger, cryogenic treated, carbon fiber synchros, what else? whole bunch of other stuff. I was able to change the gear ratio, so I was able to make the transmission be a little bit more aggressive. So I changed first, second, and third. I changed fifth, and I think I left sixth the same. Yeah. So built the transmission, got it back in the car, ran a 1082 in the quarter mile at the drag strip in Cecil County, and I haven't been back since then. And that brings us to where we are at now, where I was playing around with the car one day and I decided I'm going to do a donut. So I womped on it a little bit, broke my pulleys on the supercharger and decided we're going turbo, and did a whole fuel system, the turbo kit. So it's the VSR Gen 3 7875 turbo with an on-3 performance kit. Obviously, if you guys have been watching, I probably have gone over the kit so many times, you're tired of me hearing of it. But we could finally lower the car with brand new O2 sensors in it to see how it runs this time, because we were running into tuning issues prior due to O2 sensors fouling out and then basically fluttering one half of the motor, when obviously we shouldn't be doing that. So let's get the car on the ground and get it running, back it out. Hopefully the rain subsides for a little bit. Doesn't look like it's pouring right now, but of course the second I get the car outside it's going to start to pour, so hoping not, because I don't have a hood on. So as you guys can see, the new O2 sensors absolutely make the car run so much better. The voltage was at like a good 0.92 to 0.95 the whole time, rather than dropping down to a 0.02 or even worse, a 0.00, which, if you don't know anything about tuning, when your voltage on your O2 sensors drop down that low, typically it starts flooding out your motor on that side of the motor, which makes your motor run like absolute garbage. So glad I got the new O2 sensors in. I got the data log, I sent it over to my tuner already, so he'll get back to me whenever the hell he gets back to me. And then hopefully, I know I've said this many times, hopefully I'll get a tune where I can drive the car. But I keep hoping for that. Meanwhile, I still gotta bleed my brakes all the way around, so like I can't even drive the car yet. So it's not even like I'm doing that tonight. I got the bump steers that I'm gonna get up to next. So that's what we're getting to right now, the bump steers, which are a nice powder coated blue. I'll show you guys them in a minute, but right now I just want to get the car, the front end up in the air, so I can take the wheels off and get to the bump steers. Cool. Alright, so I got one of the original bump steer, well, I guess bump steer. I don't know what they're called stock. Tie rod end? Yeah, tie rod end. I do know what they're called stock. But we got one of them out. I'm just going to go over the passenger side now, take that one out, and then I can start putting in the new ones, which look absolutely beautiful. This fan feels phenomenal. Alright, so we got both tie rod ends loose, both of them dropped. I just got to take off the brakes and remove my dust shield, unfortunately, because it's going to be hitting. So let's take off the brakes and get with it. Alright, so I got one of the bump steers installed. Just got to tighten it up right now, it's still loose. And then we'll get to going to the other side. Alright, so the new bump steers are fully installed. Here's one of them. It's nice and tight all the way around, double adjustable. So now I can really dial in my steering, I guess. Here's the other one. Realistically, the only reason I actually needed them was to be able to clear this exhaust pipe. Otherwise, the rack's gonna be rubbing the whole time. And I guess give a little bit of clearance on this O2 sensor right here too. Cool. Let's get the car back lowered, put the wheels back on. Alright, so car's back together, wheels are on, back on the ground, and we're good. Got clearance now. So that'll be all for today. Just gonna raise the car, get my other car, well, my brother's car back in here, and then call it for the night. So appreciate coming out, hanging out with me while Mel's at work. See you guys next time.